You know, fewer teens are driving, and parents are now trying to figure out why.
Getting a license at 16 used to be a monumental milestone kids couldn't wait to reach, but today's teens don't seem to be in any rush. Joanna Von Staden, a licensed clinical mental health counselor who works with kids and teens, is joining us live now. Thanks, Joanna, for being here. You say that parents come to you and ask you, why aren't my kids driving? Why don't they want to drive? What do you tell them?
Yeah, well, we remember, I remember counting down the days until I could drive. And, that really meant freedom and more time to hang out with friends. With freedom and friends are two very important things when you're a teenager. So oftentimes we share with parents that, we are living in a very different world. So we now have access to our friends and our social network, literally at the click of a button, at the tip of our fingerprints and, our fingertips. So hanging out looks very different today. And we are seeing a correlation in the mental health field with an increase in anxiety diagnoses and driving. So they are really, our younger population are really exposed as well to very scary things and, in the world. So even my 7-year-old, we used to be worried about monsters under our bed, and my 7-year-old is asking me questions about the war in Ukraine. So a lot of heightened anxiety, and which in correlation comes with fear of driving and having anxiousness around driving, a lot of worry around them. And what a big responsibility that is. So when we have access to our friends and our social network with the use of technology, there really is a very little interest or almost no desire at all to need to drive or want to drive.
Okay, Joanna, how can a parent figure out what is driving their teens' reluctance to drive?
Yeah, and I think by, having that open conversation and open communication and really asking almost the right questions. And we want to validate sometimes, even sharing our own struggles. I really remember being really excited to drive and how scary and intimidating it was. Really models that we too are human and we had the same struggles, even though they may see us as very old, but we too struggled as well. So I think reminding our children that we are human and we share some of the similar experiences, and validating is huge. Validating that, their fears and their worries are valid, are very real, and driving is a huge responsibility and can be scary, and they can do scary things. Also being an adolescent of color too, a traffic stop means something very, very different. So validating that the fear and the worry that it's there, it's valid, it's a real life, real life experiences, and they can do scary things and they can do hard things. But I think as parents, we can come alongside of them, and by asking questions, what's causing this hesitation? What's holding you back? And how can I help? How can we do this together?
Yeah, I think that, as a parent who has a driver in 4 more years, I'm thinking, okay, I know the dangers that are out there, so I'd be fine with her not wanting to do it right away, but I also want to push her to launch, into life too. And so do you think teens are missing out on anything by not driving right away?
Yeah, and you bring up a really great point, because sometimes we're not even aware of our own fears and our own worries, and how we express that and show that and what we're modeling, right? So as a parent myself to 3 children, I'm like, oh, cool, you don't want to drive? Great. I'll just drive you everywhere because that's safer. And driving is a really important life skill to learn. So again, encouraging, asking them questions that you can do hard things. It's scary and we can do hard things. And just letting them know that we're there for them and that we can do this together. It's something we can do together.
Well, Joanna, thank you for joining us this morning. Great information for us to know. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right.